Welcome back to Math with Miss Sheehan. I just got back from a walk. I hope you guys are getting outside, even though it's been so chilly. Grab your Learn book. We are going to be on page 145 today, and we're going to be talking more about bar graphs. You guys remember what those are? So I'll give you a minute to get there, and I'm going to do the first one along with you, and then the second one you're going to do on your own. So on page 145, it's talking about animal classification, and that is a lot of different things like birds, fish, mammals, and reptiles, right? And so we're going to take that information that's in that table, and we're going to make a bar graph with it. So what you're going to want to do is for the title there, you are going to want to put the same title that they have on their graph. So animal classification. And then on the side, I'll show you mine. This is kind of what yours will look like at the end. And so on the side, you're going to be putting the different types: birds, fish, mammals, and reptiles. And so if you need a moment to just pause this and fill that in, that is just fine. Whenever you're done, you can just make sure that yours looks like mine, so that the birds go down to 6, the fish go to 5, mammals has 11, and reptiles has 3. So once you've got that, that's perfect. And then we're going to answer some of the questions down below, okay? So I'm going to read letter A for us. It says, how many more animals are birds than reptiles? So we are comparing here, and so we have to look at birds and we have to look at reptiles. So birds, there are 6, right? And reptiles, there's only 3. So what you can do is you can do 6 minus 3, which is 3. Good. You could also, if you want, see where they are even and then count on. That would be just fine as well. Okay, let's go on to letter B. Letter B is next. It says, how many more birds and mammals are there than fish and reptiles? So that's kind of a lot to think about. So maybe let's read it one more time, okay? How many more birds and mammals are there than fish and reptiles? So the first thing I'm going to think about is birds and mammals. I'm going to add those two up to see how much we have. So I'm going to look. Birds, we said that was 6, and mammals was 11. So what is 11 plus 6? 17, right? 11 plus 6 is 17. And so I would write that down to remind you, right under birds and mammals, to remind you that 17 is for that. And then the next thing I would do is I need to add together fish and reptiles to see how many they have. So I'd say, oh, fish is here, reptiles is there. So I'm going to be adding 5 for fish, and reptiles was 3. So what's 5 plus 3? 8, right? Okay, so now I know that there's more birds and mammals than fish and reptiles, but I want to know how many more. So I'm going to take those 2 and subtract them. So I got 17 when I added up my birds and mammals, and I only got 8 when I did fish and reptiles. So 17 minus 8 equals what? 9, right? Put 9 on the line. That's perfect. Letter C. How many fewer animals are reptiles and fish than mammals? Okay, so we're going to read this one more time. It's kind of a 2-step thing, okay? So it says, how many fewer animals are reptiles and fish than mammals? Okay, so reptiles and fish, we just added that one together, remember? That one equaled 8, right? So what's the difference between 8 and 11 that we have with our mammals? 11 minus 8 is 3. Nice work. Okay, and then the last part, I'm going to put this down. Letter D, you get to write your own question and come up with your own answer. So it says write and answer your own comparison question based on the data. So look and see, what could you ask someone about that information? So like I asked, how many birds, fish, and reptiles are there? So I wanted to know if I added all 3 of those up, what I would get. And then I said, well, 6 plus 5 plus 3, and then I counted that up to get my answer. But maybe you'll have a different question and different answers. That's just fine. All right, whenever you're done with that, you can flip to page 146, and you can do this one on your own. You're going to be doing animal habitats, and this one is going to be with 3 different habitats, and you can answer those questions if you're ever confused. I do have the answer keys in Schoology. And then you are going to skip page 147. You can always do it if you'd like. And then we're going to go all the way to page 151, which is the application problem. So let me read that to you. It says, after a trip to the zoo, Miss Anderson's students voted on their favorite animals. Use the bar graph to answer the following questions. A, which animal got the fewest votes? B, which animal got the most votes? C, how many more students liked Komodo dragons than koala bears? Or D, later, 2 students changed their votes from koala bear to snow leopard. What was the difference between koala bears and snow leopards then? All right, so you can put A, B, C, and D right on the bottom there, or if you turn the page, they have A, B, C, and D that you can add it in there. Either one's fine. So after this, you can do extra math, Zern, or Freckle, and we'll meet you again here tomorrow. Bye!